Alright, hello everyone. This is going to be a short video on how to write the scripts for your advertisements. Whichever one you're doing, whether it be the audio, the video, or the print one, you will gain knowledge from this. And something that you need to do is you need to take notes over this. Okay? So you can pause the video, you can rewatch it, and take the notes for this. It's very informational. All right. So, um, especially this one's more pertaining to the audio and the video, but it also will later on deal with the print. And so, your video commercials will be 30 seconds long, and that is what I'm gonna keep you to. And it can't go over, it can't go under, a whole lot under. It's got to be around that 30 seconds. And so I think that is very key, is to keep it there. Oh, that was a bad try. Your audio ad can be either 30 seconds or 60 seconds. I'm giving you the choice this year, but just keep in mind that the longer the ad, the more expensive it becomes, because you're essentially buying two ad spaces, and you can usually get the same amount of information into a 30-second ad that you would into a 60-second ad. And print ads we'll talk about a little bit here later. Local ads are different than other media that you can kind of browse, go online. If it's like a YouTube video or if it's a website, something along the lines of that, you can actually stop and look and listen to it. You can watch it over again for the most part. Local ads are a little bit different because they happen in real time, meaning that once it's over, it's over. Now, a commercial usually comes on again and again and again, but sometimes when you buy ad space, you don't buy it based on like this one show. I want to show it over and over and again. You might buy 100 spots and then they just kind of place them in there, and so you might not guarantee that the person who saw it once will see it again. Same as radio. They might do the same radio ads over and over again, but sometimes they don't, and who knows if that person's listening still. They might be out of their car, or they're not even just listening, they're in the bathroom or whatever. Print ad, if it's a billboard, they drive by once, chances are they are not going to drive by again. The newer billboards are digital, and so they're getting to the point where it kind of goes on the screen and then it goes away after like 10, 15 seconds. And so you might not have your audience see it or even see it more than once. So your ad has to be clear. I think that is the key here, is that your ad has to be clear, even if it's shown just once. So the first thing to talk about is your main objective. That is goal number one. Deep down, you'll be writing a persuasive piece, and sometimes the objective can get lost in all the mess that you will make when writing and recording these advertisements. So you want this, your main focus, to be the goal, your goal. And a lot of you ask questions about that. What do you want in your advertisement? What do you want to get out of it? And so keep those in mind when you're writing this. Some examples: if you're going to do an ad for Bill's Auto Body Shop, or Bill's car dealership, whatever you want to do, and then you talk to Bill about what they want, and they want like three things. They want, you to showcase their new car, their friendly service, and how low their prices are. That is what you need to do in that ad. That is the messages. Those are the messages you need to get across, as opposed to being creative and being funny and stuff like that, which is fine. But if you are making it too creative or too funny, sometimes this part gets lost in the mix. And so make sure that you keep this in mind. Keep it simple, but yet use all the techniques that we have been using and that we've learned about over the last couple weeks. Timing your script. So once you get like a rough draft of it done, remember that you're only paying for so much space, and anything that runs over will get cut off. When writing your script, you want to try to get into the 25 to 27-second range. That'll give you some leeway when you are filming and editing your advertisements. So that way you know what you have to work with and you can kind of keep it at that level. And like I said, if you're at 40 seconds, 10 seconds are gonna get cut off and you're not gonna get your message across as clearly as you would. And when I look at these, I will see how long it was and how long it took to get into the ad. So make sure that you are doing this and you're doing this with fidelity. We had a group last year that they started off with a 63-second commercial, I want to say, and they got it down to the 30 seconds that they needed. So keep that in mind as you're writing. Don't get to the filming and the editing part and go, oh crap, we have all this stuff, and then have to cut it down and have your ad not be as clear as you would like it to be. Repeat, repeat, repeat. Repetition helps people remember, so make sure that you repeat your call to action. Your call to action is what you want the audience to do. And make sure you do it at least twice. The call to action could be that you want them to go to a website or you want them to actually come into the store, stuff like that. And so when you're doing that, make sure that they know exactly how to do whatever your call to action is. If they need to call a phone number, they need to actually call the number, and you need to put it on your commercial or say in your ads. If you want to go somewhere, give the address. Where is it at? A website, write that down, put it on the screen so they can see it, and do that at least twice. You want to hammer into people's heads, but you want to be nice about it. You want to do it in ways that it doesn't feel like you're kind of pushing them or peer pressuring them into doing what you want them to do. That's basically essentially what we're doing. Keep it simple. A spot goes by pretty fast, like I said before. It cannot be reviewed again unless they go like online, and it happens to be online somewhere, and they can see it. And so doing things like a laundry list where you just kind of list a whole bunch of things is not ideal for these ads. You want to get the attention of the audience, make it relevant to them, and generate that call to action, whatever that might be. If you're doing a print ad, you need to go to this website. This explains a lot better than I could, so let's go there. Let me zoom in for you. So the first one here is hammer out your headline. This is usually the single most important element. If you go down here to the example, here is the headline. Sometimes you might not have a choice of color or of whatever because maybe that their logo or someone like that already has colors in it. But just look up color psychology. There are certain colors that make you do certain things. That is why McDonald's and all the McDonald's and Burger King, Jimmy John's, Wendy's. I think those are fucking things on top of my head, but they're all the color red because color red psychologically makes you hungry, makes you want to get food. Purple is usually attaining to money, blue is usually associated with softness, and so that's why you see a lot of politicians when they are trying to cater to people who they want to be kind of softer to, sometimes women's groups and stuff like that. That's why that they usually wear blue when they do that. When they're trying to target a more aggressive people, they usually go with a more aggressive color like red and stuff like that. So be thinking about the colors and be thinking about the headline that you're going to use because you have to get the people's attention and it's got to be big enough that you can read it. They can't read like actual sentences. They're just going driving by a billboard or they see it on the side of a Facebook page or whatever you want to do. So think about that. Number two, shape your subheads. Subheads are kind of the little underneath like this. Not all ads require a subhead, but this element, generally set in smaller type, that's why it's called a subhead, is there to give the reader additional information without cluttering up your ad. So you want it to do the same thing as your title, just a little bit more information. Body copy, this is actually more of this right here and this right here. All this stuff is your body type. Um, it needs to be brief, and you might not include every single detail. It might not be in complete sentences. You know, you want to get the point across in as little time as possible because they might not read it, or they might not read all of it. And then your graphics. For ours, it's going to be more of our logos that people, that our business will give you. Logos like a logo, like a picture, not logos like the rhetorical technique. Those are two different things, just so you know. The graphic element usually calls attention to or complements the headline. Make sure it's relevant to whatever you're selling. I like this example. A photo of a girl in a bikini isn't the best way to sell anything except really kind of bikinis. You know, health and fitness spas are always using bathing suits. You know, make sure that it's relevant to the person and make sure that it gets them to go to that call of action. You still need a call to action, even if you're doing a print ad. All right, so this is the criteria you will be graded on. You will need the following for your ad. You'll need a well-crafted ad that is edited to look professional. I don't want any bloopers. I don't want anything like that. You need to be focusing on your business and your business only, okay? Each ad must have two rhetorical techniques, ethos, logos, pathos, and the ability to explain why it is ethos and how it was used. That is important. It's not enough just to use a technique because you could have used it by mistake. I want you to show that you know what ethos is and how to use it within a persuasive piece of writing, which would be your ad. You also need four of the techniques we talked about in class: bandwagon, patriotism, all those, and also once again explain how that technique was used. Because, like I said, you might use it, but if you don't know how or why you used it, then you didn't really learn anything. You just did something. And so I want you to show that you learned how to do these techniques while you were going. All right, so if you have any questions, let me know. Hope you enjoyed this. I kept it under 15 minutes, which was my goal. So, all right, have fun.